Just a few years ago, the Indiana Pacers made a franchise-altering trade, acquiring TYRESE Haliburton, Buddy Hield, and Tristan Thompson from the Kings in exchange for Domantas Sabonis, Justin Holiday, and Jeremy Lamb. In the beginning, you could say it was a fleece, but at the end of the day, it's pretty even for both sides. I think both teams are pretty happy at the end of the day. So today, we're going to be rebuilding the Indiana Pacers and seeing how good we can really make this team. They do have a really bright future, so let's see what happens. Let's head over to 2K, and I will see you guys there. All right, now that we're on 2K, let's go ahead and go over the roster. We got TYRESE Haliburton, we got Miles Turner, Bruce Brown, who they just acquired in free agency. He did get a bag, so I am happy for him being a Pistons fan. We got Buddy Hield, Ben Mathurin, who they drafted last year. We got Obi Toppin, who they acquired in free agency as well. TJ McConnell, Andrew Nembhard, Aaron Nesmith, which I believe they got it in a trade either last year or the year before from Boston. They got Jalen Smith, Jordan Nwora, which I believe also is another trade that they did. Isaiah Jackson is here, and then they have their draft pick from this year, Jarace Walker. He's going to be a stud, I believe. He really has good potential, so I'm really hoping the best for him. We got Daniel Tice. He's just probably not going to get too many minutes. We got Ben Shepherd, Kendall Brown. So as of right now, that's the roster. I kind of want to go over the lineups and see how they got everything going. I like how it looks so far. That's pretty solid. I think I probably want to get a little bit more center minutes. So what I think I'm going to do is I like Nembhard, but I want to take a little bit of minutes away from all these guys. But I definitely want to get a backup center in there because I feel like we're definitely going to need him. I don't think TJ McConnell is going to get too many minutes on this team, to be completely honest. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll Nembhard here, Nesmith, and Jackson. Get them some more minutes. So that way everything is looking pretty solid for the most part. Switch these guys around. Starting lineup and the bench is actually really solid. We're going to let the first year play out and kind of see how it goes. I feel like we should at least make the playoffs, maybe the play-in. But I will see you guys at the end of the regular season. We are wrapping up year 1, 2024. And right now we are currently sitting at the 2nd seed. And we finished off the season. It looks like we're going to finish about 55 wins. So I cannot complain about that at all. We finished 55-27 with Joel Embiid as your MVP. Victor Wembanyama is your Rookie of the Year. Chris Paul is 6th Man of the Year. Depoy goes to Giannis. Most Improved is Paul Reed. Devin Booker is your Clutch Player of the Year, with Nick Nurse as your Coach of the Year. So your All-NBA first team, looking pretty normal. All-NBA second team, and your All-NBA third team. So, no players for now on any of the All-NBA teams. Check out the defensive teams. I don't believe we have any players there as well. Check out the rookies, and we have Jarace Walker making the all-rookie second team, so we cannot complain there. Like I said, we are the 2 seed, and we are going to be taking on, let's see, New York in the first round. Let's go ahead and simulate the first game, in which they take. It's not too promising. We don't like to see that being the higher seed. They also take game 2, which is not good. We take game 3, which is a plus for us. Cannot complain there, and we go down 3-1. So now it is time to go in and fix our lineups and make sure we got a little 10-man rotation going on. I don't think TJ McConnell is going to be getting some minutes. I'm going to go ahead and bring in Jalen Smith for a little bit more big man minutes. Ben Mathurin can definitely get 30. I think we're chilling there. I definitely just wanted to have like another big body on the court just because I feel like it's worth it at the end of the day. I think we're good there with the 8-man rotation. Let's go ahead and simcast this game and kind of see what happens. I feel like maybe I should have put Isaiah Jackson in, but at the same time, let's see what Jalen Smith can do. As of right now, they are kicking our ass, so it doesn't look like we're going to do pretty good this first round. Yeah, we got our asses handed to us by 35 points. So it's totally okay. It's the first year. I didn't expect to win it all the first year, but anything can happen. We got Paul George as your Western Conference MVP and Tyler Hero as your Eastern Conference MVP. And we have the Miami Heat winning in 5 with Jimmy Butler as your most valuable player for the finals. All right. Let's go ahead and sim to the lottery and kind of see where we stand there. I don't really see us having too high of a draft pick unless we get lucky. Let's see. We do have 27 and 28. So it's not the absolute best picks in the world, but we might be able to do something with it. I'm going to go ahead and skip past the draft and just head over to the player options. I'm not really too worried about what we're going to get at 29 and 30, to be completely honest, or 28 and 29, whatever it was. I definitely want to bring back these guys. That's without a question. I know Bruce Brown's making a lot of money, but worst comes to worst, if we don't like him, we can always trade him away. I'm not going to bring back Kendall Brown. He didn't get really any minutes for the team anyways, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's check out and see what's available in the free agency market. Let's see exactly what we need on the team first. So I feel like we should definitely get a backup center. I do like Isaiah Jackson, but I don't really think it's going to do too much for us at the end of the day. So it would definitely be sick to get a center here and some kind of free agent signing. Jared Vanderbilt is not really a center, but he can play the center. And he's going to be really good on defense for us. I might actually have to try that out and see. He might be our best option for the moment, and he is an unrestricted free agent, so we have a really good chance at signing him. Looks like he's going to actually sign with us, but we have to renounce the rights on Buddy Hield and Obi Toppin, which I'm not really too big on. So I think I'm going to actually forget about that trade, to be completely honest. I definitely want to bring back Jordan Nwora, and Aaron Nesmith, Obi Toppin, and Buddy Hield is cool. I might end up trading Buddy Hield at the end of the day. I did want to make a free agent signing, but I don't think that's what I'm going to do for now. After seeing my options, it's not really the best. But let's check out the player progression and kind of see how everybody's doing. Only person that really degressed is TJ McConnell. Everybody else went up for the most part, so there's no complaints. We'll go ahead and head over to the next season, kind of see what trades we can cook up, and we'll go from there. All right, for the first trade in the rebuild, we're going to be sending Isaiah Jackson, TJ McConnell, and Kendall Brown over for a few veterans in Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Andre Drummond. All right, for the next trade, we're going to be sending Vlad Alcanzar, Ben Shepherd, and his second-round pick over to the 76ers for Paul Reed and Phillip. We'll just call him that. All right, for now, that's all we're going to do trade-wise. So let's go ahead and check out the lineup for the season. We got TYRESE Haliburton, Bruce Brown, Ben Mathurin, Jarris Walker, Miles Turner, Aaron Nesmith, Andrew Nembhard, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Andre Drummond, and Paul Reed. I would honestly say that's a pretty overall rounded team. So we're going to go ahead and simulate this season, and hopefully we can get it done this year. If not, then next year's the year, and maybe we'll bring another star into the team. Who knows? I'll see you guys then. All right, guys, we are wrapping up the end of the season. We definitely are not as good as last year, which is unfortunate. We are the third seed right now, kind of bobbling back and forth between fourth, fifth, third place. So we ended up as the fourth seed. We have John Morant as your MVP, Isaiah Collier as your Rookie of the Year, Scoot Henderson, Sixth Man of the Year, Victor Wembanyama as your Depoy, LaMelo Ball Most Improved, with Tyrese Maxey as your Clutch Player of the Year, with Gregory Lee for the Memphis Grizzlies as your Coach of the Year. This is your All-NBA first team, All-NBA second team, and then we have TYRESE Haliburton making the All-NBA third team. We love to see that. We got any defensive players? I don't believe we do, which is just fine. Can't complain there. We didn't have any draft picks from that round, or from last year, so we are taking on Boston in the first round. We're going to go ahead and simulate the play-in, and we'll simulate the first game and see what happens. We do have Boston taking game 1, which is unfortunate. They also take game 2. I don't like to see this at all, and now we are down 3-0. All right, this is where I guess the moves come in to where the 8-man rotation comes out. I definitely don't want Kentavious Caldwell-Pope starting. I'm sorry. You definitely get some good minutes off the bench, but I definitely want Bruce starting. I definitely think we should have a backup center, if I'm being completely honest. So I'm going to take away a little bit of these minutes, and I'm going to give him to Drummond, just because he can provide a really good boarding presence for us. Hopefully we don't get our asses kicked. As of right now, we are, which means it could likely happen in this last game. But as of right now, we do have a good lead heading into the third quarter. But they do come back very fast, and this game ends up being a blowout. Wow, we just got swept in the first round by a lower seed than us. All right, looks like we got some potential moves to do. We got John Morant as your Western Conference MVP and Jason Tatum as your Eastern Conference MVP. And we have the Celtics winning it in 7. Wow, I thought it was going to end up being the Grizz, but it didn't. We have Jason Tatum as your Finals MVP. All right. Let's go ahead and go to the lottery, kind of see where we stand there. I don't expect us to have a high pick, and which we don't, which is totally okay. We'll go ahead and skip past that and go ahead and head over to the player options. Make sure we get everybody back that we want to. I made a big mistake earlier, and I accidentally renounced the rights on Buddy Hield and Obi Toppin, and I ended up losing them for basically nothing. And those are great players, and I didn't even realize it in the beginning. But shit happens, and we gotta do with what the best we can. So we do have a little bit of money to spend. It looks like we have to re-sign Miles Turner, which I'm not really opposed to. But is there somebody better that we can bring in center-wise that could really make a bigger difference? If Sengun wasn't restricted, I might make an offer at that, but I don't really think it's going to happen. Duren is also restricted. We all know how he is in 2K. He's a beast, and he's 21 years old and basically already the same overall as Miles Turner. Oh, man. Do I make the offer? Probably not. Let's go ahead and just bring back Miles Turner for now, and worst comes to worst, if we have to, we'll trade him away. Bruce Brown, I do definitely want to keep him. Contavious Caldwell-Pope, you're making a little bit too much money for me. I'm sorry, bro, but we're going to have to go ahead and cut you from the team. Let's go ahead and bring back Bruce Brown on his contract. He definitely... $16 million isn't too bad. I actually don't mind that too much. Go ahead and renounce the rights on the rest of these guys. And we got most of our main guys back, which I cannot complain about. Whatever, and see who the rest of the people we can afford. We do have Christian Wood here, which would not be too bad. Have a backup for us. Caris LeVert is also here. Really good, solid shooting guard. Plays really good defense. We got a young Jackson Hayes down there, but I think I'm going to go ahead and bring in Christian Wood on a $9 million contract for 3 years. It's not too bad. That's all I'm going to do for free agency. We're going to go head over to the player progression and kind of check and see how everybody develops so far. We should have a lot of people going up significantly, hopefully. If not, then obviously we have a lot of work to do. So we got Ben Mathurin going up 3, Jarris Walker going up 4, Miles Turner goes up, Tyrese goes up, Nembhard, Drummond, even though he's 31, he goes up. So we cannot complain there. And we got a couple of guys that ride the bench. They went up in overall, so there's no complaints there as well. We'll go ahead and load in our draft class, and I will see you guys next year when we make a few trades. For the first trade, we're going to be sending Aaron Nesmith, Andrew Nembhard, and a couple second-round picks over for Tyus Jones and a first-round pick. Hopefully that first-round pick ends up being valuable. It is the swap with the Nets, so it should definitely be somewhat valuable down the line if they're bad, so we're hoping it is. All right, we're going to be acquiring Jonathan Isaac from the Toronto Raptors along with a first-round pick for Drummond, Ajinça, and a first. So let's go ahead and complete that. And I believe the last trade we're going to make, just for a backup shooting guard spot, we're going to be trading a couple of guys at the end of the bench for Malik Beasley and Dennis Smith Jr. So overall, we're getting a couple of serviceable guys back. So no complaints, as I always say. All right, so our rotation heading into this year is actually pretty solid. We got Tyrese Haliburton, Bruce Brown, Ben Mathurin, Jarris Walker, Miles Turner, Tyus Jones, Christian Wood, John Isaac, Paul Reed, and Malik Beasley. So honestly, I think we're pretty good for the most part. I'm going to go ahead and sim this season. If I think there's a couple of trades to be done at the trade deadline, I'll probably stop it there. But if I don't think it's really worth it and we'll end up a pretty high seed, I'm just going to simulate that to the end of the season. I will see you guys then. All right, we are wrapping up the year, and as of right now, we are the second seed in the Eastern Conference, so that's great to see. Definitely a little bit of a step up from last year. We did lose the last couple games there, which is upsetting to see, but we do have LaMelo Ball as your MVP, Cooper Flagg as your Rookie of the Year, Sixth Man of the Year goes to Asar Thompson, Joel Embiid is your Depoy, Men Thompson is your Most Improved, Anthony Edwards is your Clutch Player of the Year, and you have your Coach of the Year as Mark Daigneault. It's pretty nice to see both the Thompson brothers getting some appreciation for awards there, so that's sick for them. This is your All-NBA First Team. your All NBA second team, and your All NBA third team with Tyrese Haliburton making it yet again. We'd love to see that. I don't expect anybody to be on our defensive team, which they are not, unfortunately. So we'll go ahead and skip past that. As I said, we are the second seed in the Eastern Conference, so we're going to go ahead and simulate the play-in, and we are taking on Washington in the first round. Go ahead and simulate game 1, in which we take. We love to see that. All right, they go ahead and tie it up, and now we go up 2-1, 2-2. Looks like this is going to be a really close series, guys. All right, going to go up 3-2 on us. Go ahead and simcast and see what happens. Hopefully we can take this to game 7. I kind of want to jump in and hopefully get a close game. It looks like this one might actually be... No. Wow. I mean, it's still possible, I guess, but no, it's not possible. We got our asses kicked by a lot. So that's unreal. It's crazy how we're the second seed in the playoffs and we just end up losing to these lower seeds. All right. Well, it's obvious that we got to make a couple moves. We got Giannis as your Western Conference MVP for the Utah Jazz, and we have Darius Garland as your Eastern Conference MVP. So, how does... Okay, 2K. We're not even going to talk about it. We have the Cavs winning the championship with Evan Mobley as your Finals MVP. It's pretty crazy how they give Giannis the Finals MVP, and he wasn't even in the winning team or the Conference Finals MVP. Whatever. It's none of my business. Shout out 2K. All right, it doesn't look like we're going to have too high of a draft pick here. We do end up with 18 from Toronto, which isn't a horrible pick. Maybe we can end up trading that away and getting something for it. We'll see. All right, go ahead and sim to our pick. We are 18. See if there's anything worth it here, worth grabbing. I doubt it, but it's always worth it to check it out. We got Mo Bellamy here. Has a Hall of Fame ceiling, Magic Johnson, so we can always scoop him up, even though we really don't need a point guard at the moment. And we'll skip to our next pick and see if there's anybody else right there hiding in the darkness. Hall of Fame potential, Richard House. All right, or whatever. Not even sure exactly who I even drafted, to be completely honest, but go ahead and bring in both of our rookies. Go ahead and re-sign Jarris Walker on our deal, without a doubt. Go ahead and check out the qualifying offers. Definitely want to bring back Ben Mathurin. Looks like we're probably going to have to throw a nice little contract at him, which I'm not too against, to be completely honest, because he's going to be our franchise player besides Tyrese Haliburton. Everybody else is pretty cool to renounce the rights there. I would like to bring back Paul Reed. For the most part, he's a serviceable big man off the bench who did win Most Improved Player a few years ago. We also have Obi Toppin here, who I did accidentally let go. It would be pretty nice to bring him back to the squad. So I'm going to go ahead and bring him back instead of Paul Reed. A little bit younger. Maybe around the same age, honestly. I really didn't check into it too much, but we'll go ahead and bring him in. And let's see if there's anybody else just chilling out here. We still can bring in Paul Reed, honestly. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Why not? Okay. Or I accidentally just messed up my offer completely. All right. Now we got him. He should be locked down there, and we should be good. All right. For the most part, that's all we're going to do free agency-wise. Let's go ahead and check out the player progression, kind of see how everybody's doing. I don't expect us to be horrible, but I expect everybody to be going up for the most part. I still think there's like a trade that needs to be done to really set this team on to the next part. I think I do know what it is, but I'm trying to kind of refrain from doing it. But if it has to happen, it has to happen. We'll go ahead and load in our draft class, and if there's trades we made, you'll obviously see them on the screen, and I'll see you guys then. All right, guys, so this one is super unrealistic, but we're going to be sending Miles Turner, Mo Bellamy, Gary Harris over to the Kings for Jabari Smith Jr. and Jose Alvarado. So that's done there. All right, this is another one of those unrealistic trades, but we're going to be sending Christian Wood and Bruce Brown, along with the first-round pick, over to San Antonio Spurs for Jalen Duren and Nurkic. Nurkic is not going to stay on the team. He's going to end up getting moved. But at the end of the day, this is the trade for us right now that we're going to go ahead and end up doing. So let's go ahead and do that for now. Right, in the last trade, before we get back into the rebuild, it's going to be sending over Yusuf Nurkic, Richard House, and Dylan Windler over to the Charlotte Hornets for Nick Smith Jr. and Precious Achiuwa. We get a nice backup shooting guard, exactly what we're looking for. So that trade is complete, and I believe we are set. All right, this is a look at our rotation heading into the season. We got TYRESE Haliburton, Ben Mathurin, Jabari Smith Jr., Jarris Walker. We got Jalen Duren, Tyus Jones, Nick Smith Jr., Obi Toppin, Jonathan Isaac, and Precious Achiuwa. We got a pretty solid rotation for the most part. Let's go ahead and sim this season. Hopefully this is the year we can get it done, because this is a really good team. If not, then obviously there's still more work that needs to be done. But honestly, I feel like this could be it. All right, guys, I think this is it. I think this is the year we can get it done. I don't see why we couldn't. This team is a 60-win team. We're in first place. We're looking really solid. I definitely want to check out the end of the season stats, because I don't know why I always forget to do that. I'm horrible at it. But we finished 64-18, which is definitely the best record we've had this whole entire video. We got Jokic as your MVP, Cameron Boozer as your Rookie of the Year, Scoot Henderson is your 6th Man of the Year, Victor is your DPOY, Kyle Filipowski is your Most Improved, LaMelo Ball is your Clutch Player of the Year, with Rick Carlisle as your Coach of the Year. We love to see that. Let's see, do we have any All-NBA players? We do. TYRESE Haliburton, yet again, making the All-NBA 3rd team. All right. I don't believe we're going to have any rookies or defensive players, so go ahead and skip past that. I definitely want to check out the season stats. I always forget to check, like I said. Looks like we have TYRESE Haliburton leading the way with 25 points per game, 3 rebounds, 13 assists. Jalen Duren with 16.5, 12 rebounds, about 2 blocks per game. He's a good stud. We picked him up for about $22 million. He was definitely worth it so far. Jabari Smith Jr. coming in, grabbing 17 points per game, about 8 boards, almost about a block per game and a steal. Jarris Walker developed really nice. He's playing really good for us. Can never complain about him. Ben Mathurin. We got Tyus Jones, Nick Smith Jr. also carrying the way with 15 points and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, everyone's scoring very well. For the most part, I don't see why we can't get this championship done. We're going to be taking on the New York Knicks in the first round. Go ahead and simulate the first game, in which we take. We also take game 2. Game 3 is also ours. And they ended up taking 4. But we ended up taking 5. And we move on to the next round. And it looks like we're going to be taking on Charlotte in the next round. We'll go ahead and simulate the first game, in which we take. You love to see it. We go up 2-0. 2-1 us. Oh, I didn't mean to simulate the whole round, but it ended up working out in our favor. We ended up winning 4-2. We're taking on the Chicago Bulls in the next round. Go ahead and simulate the first game, in which we take. They take game 2. We don't like to see that. They also take game 3. Oh, man. All right. We tie it back up. 2-2. All right. 3-2 Chicago. We'll go ahead and hop in to the Simcast. And hopefully we can take it to game 7, man. I really do not want to go home. We won way too many games to lose. Man, and they're just kicking our ass. Like, what is this? Wow. All right. Your Western Conference MVP and your Eastern Conference MVP. And we'll go ahead and simulate. And we have the Jazz winning it in 7 with Giannis as your finals MVP. All right. Well, I think this will probably end up being the last year of the rebuild. I figured I probably would have got it done by now. I'm hoping this could be the year. I don't know why I can't, but hey, we'll see what happens. We'll go ahead and skip over to the player options. Make sure we get everybody back that we want to, because I don't want to mess up again like I did earlier in the rebuild. No player options. Go ahead and check out the qualifying offers. We definitely want to get both of these guys back without a doubt. Let's go ahead and check and see who we got to sign. We got Jarris Walker here. We'll go ahead and bring him back. We'll also go ahead and bring back John Isaac. And then Nick Smith Jr. as well. We still got to get Jalen Duren back as well. I'm hoping that I'm able to afford him. If not, it's not the end of the world. We got 26 mil to offer him. Maybe he'll accept that. I'm hoping he will. That would be awesome, in which he does. Hell yeah. I'm not really too worried about the rest of the guys. All right, we got our main guys back that we want. So we love to see that. I definitely want to bring in a young guy like Jalen McDaniels for off the bench. Definitely should help out the team a decent little bit. And then we got Mo Bamba also chilling here in free agency, so we'll go ahead and pick him up as well. Just as little backup pieces for the bench and stuff like that. All right, we couldn't get Jalen Daniels. It's whatever. We don't have enough money under the cap. Check out the progression, and hopefully most people have won up for the most part. I don't want to see any regression. It's not what we're here for. Let's go ahead and check it out. TYRESE Haliburton hasn't went up in a few seasons. I don't really like the look of that at all, but it does happen. Our big man rotation, we do have a lot of them, so I might end up moving away from a couple of them, but at the end of the day, we are a good team still. We'll go ahead and load in our draft class, and I will see you guys when we make some trades. All right, this is the first trade we're going to do. We're going to be sending Paul Reed and Precious Achiuwa over for basically Ivica Zubac. I'm not even know why I tried to say his first name, but Zubac. So we'll go ahead and bring him in for our backup center spot. All right, for the next trade, we're going to be sending Tyus Jones and Jonathan Isaac over to the Memphis Grizzlies for Colin Sexton and Terrence Davis. Brings us a nice solid backup point guard. And we'll probably have to fill in our small forward minutes, but we can always make another trade for that. Go ahead and do this. All right, the next trade, we're going to be sending Terrence Davis and Mo Bamba over to the Washington Wizards for basically Chuma Okeke. Monty Logan's not going to get any minutes, but Chuma's going to be our backup small forward. So let's go ahead and do this trade. I'm pretty happy with this. All right, let's go ahead and check out the rotations for next season. We got Tyrese Haliburton leading the way with Ben Mathurin, Jabari Smith Jr., Jarris Walker, Jalen Duren, and for the backup bench squad, we got Colin Sexton, Zubac, Nick Smith Jr., Obi Toppin, and Chuma Okeke. Overall, this is a pretty solid squad. Hopefully we can get it done, because man, this has been pretty rough. I honestly thought this was going to be a lot easier, but obviously hasn't. But let's go ahead and simulate the season, and I will see you guys at the end. All right, we are wrapping up the season, and as of right now, we are still currently in first place. We have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as your MVP this year, Caleb Gaskins as your Rookie of the Year, Cameron Boozer as your Sixth Man of the Year, Victor Wembanyama as your Depoy, Trey Johnson is your Most Improved with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as your Clutch Player of the Year with honestly insane numbers. Probably could have shot a tiny bit better from three, but 38% is honestly not bad at all, so we'll take that. And then we have your Coach of the Year as Dan Craig for the Phoenix Suns. This is your All-NBA first, All-NBA second, All-NBA third team. So no Pacers on here this time, which is a little unfortunate, but shit happens. We are the 1 seed, and let's see who we're taking on in the first round. It looks like it's going to be Boston. Go ahead and simulate the first game, in which we take. They take game 2, which is not promising. All right, we take 3. 4 is ours. And we move on to the next round. And it looks like we're going to be taking on Cleveland. We'll simulate the first game, in which we take. They take game 2. Game 3 is ours. Game 4 is theirs. Okay. Game 6. And here we go. We get it done in 6. We're taking on the Orlando Magic in the conference finals. Hopefully this is it, man, because we deserve it. We worked really hard. This team has been really good all year. We're up 2-0 so far. 3-0. Can we sweep them to get it done? Unfortunately not. We simulate, and we are finally in the NBA Finals, taking on Zion Williamson and the Pelicans, who is your Western Conference MVP, and Tyrese Haliburton is your Eastern Conference MVP with 22, 15, and about 1.5 steals per game. So we're going to go ahead and check out the season stats, because I always forget, as I said. That's what the numbers are looking like for the regular season. Everybody produced really well. We love to see that. No complaints there whatsoever. Our team looked really nice, so that's a plus. And then we're going to go ahead and check out the playoff stats so far. Tyrese Haliburton leading the way. Actually, we got Ben Mathurin leading the way. Tyrese Haliburton right behind him, but he has about 16 assists per game, which is honestly insane. Jalen Duren, 20 points, 12 boards. Jabari Smith Jr., Jarris Walker is doing really nice. So hopefully this is it, man. Go ahead and simulate the first game, in which we take. Simulate game 2. We also take that. Game 3 is the Pelicans. Game 4 is also the Pelicans. Go ahead and simulate game 5, in which they take. Oh, man. How do we go up 2-0 and just blow this? They got a really good lead heading into the second, and they are kicking our ass. Wow. We made a little bit of a comeback. Holy shit. Unfortunately, it's not enough to get it done. And the Pelicans win it all with Zion Williamson as your finals MVP. Wow. All right, guys. I'm sorry, Indiana Pacers fans and everybody in Indiana. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it done. I did try my hardest. We played at least 5-6 years to the sim. And no matter how good we made our team, no matter how many times we got first place, we just got taken out by the lower seeds, and it just didn't go too well for us. Maybe if I would have played one more year, who knows, we would have won. But unfortunately, it is 2:30 in the morning right now, and it is time for bed. So I'm going to call it a night. I appreciate everybody for watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day or night whenever you're watching, and deuces.